वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. I welcome everyone who are in temple as well as who are online in our travel to study Srimad Bhagavad Gita. My apology, last week there was some program over here, there was a marriage over here, and so we could not do our sadhyay. So we missed one Saturday, so this Saturday again we are meeting. So we will recap what we studied or what we are studying. So we are on the third chapter, Karma Yoga Nama, Trutiyo Adhyaya. We are on the third chapter, Karma Yoga. How to do the karma? What is karma? Karma क्या है? सुबह उठना, ऑफिस जाना, धंधे पे जाना, go to the business, earn money, raise family. ये कर्म है? Is that the karma as a human being? That is done even by animals also. So, what is karma? What is my karma? How to identify my karma? What should I be doing as my karma? And this is all as an individual at a personal level is explained. Not only that, it is also explained at a social level. What should be the karma of a bigger people? What should be the karma? How I should be doing my karma? What should be my psychology behind doing my karma? All these things are told in the Karma Yoga. It is practical application, directly practical application of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in our life today through this chapter. So I'll chant the 21st sloka which we discussed for last couple of sessions, and you know what, I like this sloka very much because this sloka is applicable, or this sloka is the solution, can lead us to the solution of majority of our present day problems. So let me chant the sloka first, 21st sloka of third chapter. Yadyadacharati sreshta tattad devetaro janaha sa yat pramanam kurute lokas tadanu vartate. And here we talked about sreshta, big people, great people, and we talked about many things. What did we talk? Who is Sreshta? And then we understood that everyone is Sreshta. Sreshta doesn't mean that one person is Sreshta, one way of thinking is Sreshta, and other way or other person is not Sreshta. Because Sreshta is defined by the people who are looking at you. So we took an example of a beggar family where the father is a beggar and the child is also a beggar. For the child, father is Sreshta. What is the best way of begging? How can I get maximum money by begging? So in the eyes of the child, the beggar father is Sreshta. So who is Sreshta? Everyone is Sreshta. But what we should be striving through is the real Sreshta, and that is where the God was coming in picture. And why? Because we are all, exactly, to be very precise, we are all leading and becoming an example for the next generation. And that is why we are all Sreshta, or we are all supposed to be Sreshta. And Sreshta is also always relevant to the Tattva. Sreshta is not relevant to the position or situation. We always say this is the best method in this situation. That is not correct. Because what happens that if we follow such methods, depending on the situation, then we lose the tattva part, that is what the God is telling. So hence Bhagwan, we took the example, Bhagwan Ram is Sreshta because he followed the words of his father. But Prahlad is also Sreshta when he didn't follow the words of his father. And Indrajit is not Sreshta even though he followed the words of his father Ravan. So following the words of the father is Sreshta, or the tattva behind is Sreshta is important to understand. And as we grow up more in the ladder of the Sreshta, there is no personal freedom for a man. So we talked about in very detail the freedom, the individual freedom versus the social responsibility. Because this is one of the major part over here. Every individual is independent to do what they want to do. कुछ भी कपड़े पहनो, कुछ भी करो, मैं स्वतंत्र हूँ, मुझे मेरी जिंदगी का अधिकार है. Is that the true way? What is the true way? Is there no responsibility for the society? That is to be thought. So that was what we talked about in Shrestha. And then we defined the definition of Bahujana Hitaya. What is Shrestha? Bahujana Hitaya, which is better for many. That is Shrestha. Another definition. And then people follow whom they consider as Shrestha. Hence, the definition of Shrestha should not be based on masses. मेरे पीछे 4 लाख लोग हैं इसलिए मैं बड़ा हूं. That is not the right way. Shrestha doesn't mean. Rather, most Shrestha leaders has been found completely failure till their death. Socrates is considered as a Shrestha today, but in his time he was poisoned and he died poor. Swami Dayanand Saraswati, he was poisoned. He was not considered as Shrestha in his time. So, having huge mass following someone doesn't mean that that person is Shrestha. We have to take the tattva behind it. Otherwise, it will be a wrong ideal. And then the incorrect action done by a reputed person becomes a norm. Sat sa yat pramanam kurute. A reputed person, a famous person doing wrong thing is also being followed by the other people. Lokas tadanu vartate. So it is responsibility of the big people, responsibility of the famous people to do the things which is Bahujana Hitaya, which is good for people. Taking an example, if a celebrity is appearing in an advertisement for cigarettes, smoking, that is not correct. Because the new generation are looking at the celebrity and they will start smoking. That is exactly the reason also why celebrities are put in the advertisement for smoking. So that is not correct. It should not be done. Pramanam sa yat pramanam kurute. People will feel that, this is a celebrity and he smokes. Actually that celebrity is not smoking. So this slok is a seed which can be grown to resolve many problems in the present day society. Now, we will go further on 22nd sloka, as we go from this 21st sloka ahead. I will change the sloka, 22nd sloka. Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam partha eva cha karmani. Very important. Again, another guideline to those people who are at a higher level, who are celebrities, who are famous, who are powerful, who are rich, who are taken as a Shrestha by the society. So, what is the meaning? Kartavyam, duty, name parthasti kartavyam. God is telling, I do not have any duty. Trishu lokeshu, in all the world, all the three loka, त्रिलोक में मेरे पास कोई भी कर्तव्य नहीं है, ड्यूटी नहीं है. किंचना, जरा भी. Sometimes there is partial or less or more. Kinchana. Kitchen. So when there is no, I do not have any duty, and anavaptam, I have got nothing to attain, I have got nothing to wish for, I have nothing to get. And avaptavam means I have nothing to gain, I have nothing to attain, and I have nothing to gain. I have no duty. Varta eva cha karmani. Still, I do my duty. There is no duty for me to do in all the three worlds. Nor do I have anything to gain or attain. Yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Very important word, prescribed duties. When in the same sentence God is telling that I do not have any duty, the God is here telling I am engaged in the prescribed duty. This looks like irony when on one side God is telling that I don't have any duty, on the other side He is telling that I am doing my prescribed duty. So let us try to understand why this is told like this by God. In Hindi, हे पार्थ, पार्थ means अर्जुन, हे पार्थ, मुझे तीनों लोकों में न तो कुछ कर्तव्य है और न कोई प्राप्त करने योग्य वस्तु अप्राप्त है, फिर भी मैं कर्तव्य कर्म में ही लगा रहता हूँ. Yes, I keep doing. So number one part is why God doesn't have any duty, nothing to attain and nothing to gain. Because God is omnipresent. Number one part, He is everywhere, so He has nowhere to go. See, in our life also, when we ask people, what will you like to do, in this summer and all that, they will say, oh, I will go for a cruise trip, or I will go to some mountain, a mountain, or I will go for some, resort to relaxation, I will go boating, I will go swimming. Why there is a aspiration to go somewhere? Because we are not there. Because I am not in the resort, I aspire to go to the resort. Imagine I am everywhere, then I have got nowhere to go. A thing which is everywhere has got nowhere to go. God is omnipresent, so He doesn't have any aspiration that, oh, I have to go there or I have to go there. He is everywhere. And the duty, the kartavya part, the kartavya comes is because of two things. Where there is a responsibility given or we have taken a favor. हमारा माँ बाप के लिए कर्तव्य है. क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने हमें जन्म दिया है, हमने जन्म उनके थ्रू लिया है. So we have got the duty towards our parents, similarly duty towards the society, duty towards our gurujan, duty towards our friends and families, and so all those kind of things. So duty comes as a kartavya. Kartavya comes as either responsibility which is taken up by ourselves, or it is if we have taken a favor. But God does not have either. God is the original existence and continuous, so He has got no responsibility towards anybody through which the person has come through. God has existed. And God is not taking any favor. In fact, God is giving us lots of favor. So He doesn't have any favor, He doesn't have any responsibility, and He has not taken any favor, so He has got no kartavya. Name parthasti kartavyam. I don't have any duty. Trishu lokeshu kinchana. I do not have any duty in all the तीनों लोक में. इन कोई भी जगह पर. Now ये तीनों लोक क्या है? What are three different lokas? Is something in all the three world has to be something to be understood. But we will not go into that, because then we will go into the what is called as a Puran direction. We are going to keep in our Shastra, the Tattva which we are trying to understand. So we'll go further on this. So He has got no duty and He has not taken any favor, so He doesn't have any kartavya. As He has created and He owns the universe, He has nothing to acquire, wish, gain or attain for. He has got nothing. He is totally capable. See, sometimes we do not have capacity, so we think and we look forward to getting more power, right? He is totally capable and He has got no power or fame or strength to achieve. He already has the maximum, whatever infinite. Infinite power, infinite fame, infinite strength. So even to get a strength or becoming a more reputed person or powerful person or celebrity, he doesn't have that, because he is already totally capable and he has got nothing to achieve. Another part is he cannot consume or store. See, another one of the reason why many of us are running around in the world is either to consume or to store. I want to consume. Today is Saturday and I want to eat outside. I want to consume something. I want to eat laddus. I want to eat samosas. So I will go to a nice restaurant which I like. That is how we move. That is how we work. Similarly, store. Yeah, I will have more money in the bank. And even for the kids, it's not money only. It is at a very young age. I will have more toys, even if they are broken toys. I remember in our time, people used to gather lots of marbles. Yeah, these marbles are the best thing to have. I have got 20 marbles. Otherwise, boy will boast that I have got 30 marbles. As of today, we can buy hundreds of marbles, thousands of marbles with our salary every day. But we don't go for it. We don't need marbles anymore. So the point here was that the God cannot consume or store because He is everywhere. He is in samosa also. How He can wish that, oh, I will eat samosa and have happiness? Actually, thinking in one logical way, thinking can be, God cannot be happy. Why? Because He is everywhere, so He cannot consume. The definition of happiness, it came to one experience in my early days in Canada. Some people came to me and they told that we are looking forward for a kingdom where there will be no thirst, no hunger. Everywhere it will be the word of God, ruled by the God. And I asked them that, the definition or the root of the happiness is in the scarcity. Unless I am hungry, I will not enjoy eating samosas. Unless I am thirsty, I will not enjoy drinking water. The inner reason of happiness is the scarcity, the thirst, the hunger. When that hunger or thirst is quenched, that gives us a feeling of happiness. When there is no hunger, when there is no thirst, there is no happiness. So that world where there is no thirst or no hunger will be very, it will be very boring. There will be no happiness. So anyway, that was a kind of argument which I had a very long time back, almost 25 years ago. So the point is that because God is complete and He doesn't have anything to fill the incompleteness, the God doesn't have to do anything. There is no activity. He doesn't have anything. Jo kar prapta avaptavyam and avaptam, both to attain and to gain. None of that is there with the condition. Is the condition with the God. And also He knows everything which is going to happen. See, sometimes we have got anxiety. Why do we enjoy a horror movie or a suspense movie? Because we do not know what is going to happen next. The unknown is giving a fear, but unknown is also giving us the push to go. If somebody is trying to let us take an example. If somebody is trying to do some business, he has got a startup. He is trying to do some business. Now, if he knows that my business is going to fail, after 2 years of hard work or everything, my business is going to fail. If he knows about it, will he work? He will not work, he will stop. He will stop working. Because he knows that my business is going to fail, my work will not be coming into any result, any fruitful result. So if we know about the future, it is not good. It will also create the fear. 2 दिन के बाद में मैं मर जाने वाला हूँ. I am going to die after 2 days. What will happen? The remaining 2 days of the life will be hell. It will be very, very, frustrated life. Because we know that I am going to die after 2 days. So not knowing the future is actually good. It is a blessing. Now for God, God knows what is in future. So he has got nothing to acquire. कुछ आगे है ही नहीं जिसको पता है कि क्या होने वाला है, उसके लिए उसका थ्रिल क्या? What is the thrill in it? What is happiness? Lottery लग गई. We are very happy. Oh, I got a lottery. I win a lottery. I win a happiness. Why? It was unknown. It suddenly came. Rainfall. Then we are happy. अबे मुझे 4 दिन के बाद में $500 की लॉटरी लगने वाली है. I am going to win $500 in a lottery after 5 days. When you win the lottery, what will be the happiness? Nothing. There is no thrill. Oh, I already knew it. So the happiness is in the unknown. Happiness is in the scarcity. Happiness is in the thirst, the hunger, and quenching of it. It should be quenched. That is where the happiness. But God knows everything what is going to happen. So He doesn't have that situation also where He can, look forward for something good in future. कुछ अच्छा होने वाला है. बाबा जी ने बताया तेरा बहुत भला होने वाला है. अभी शनि की पनौती चल रही है. Now you have got a शनि in a bad situation. But you pray. What will happen? Pray for 3 years and then you will come out of it. Those 3 years of troublesome time, because of Shani or anything else, the person will live through with a hope. That is the important part. That is how we are all living. Now he is telling he doesn't have anything of this, but still he is doing the karma. And this is where is the question. If he is telling that I have got nothing to gain, nothing to achieve, nothing to aspire, nothing, to attain, to wish, to acquire, but still I am doing varta evacha karmani. Still I am doing my karma. But here the karma, he told very clearly, is a prescribed duty. Karma, prescribed duty. So why he has to do the prescribed duty? Why God is on one side telling I have got nothing as a duty, and the second side he is telling I am doing my prescribed duty. Why? Because when the God gets manifested, हमारे में अवतार है, भगवान अवतार लेते हैं. The God is incarnated, God is manifested, he is coming into a form. And when the God comes into a form, he has got the duty. Then he has a karma. We have a form or not? Are we form? Answer is yes. When we are a form, we have a duty. Then we have got wishes, we have got gain, attain, everything is there. When there is no form, there is no duty. The moment form is coming, the duty is coming. That is number one part here. So he is telling he is doing his prescribed work when he is manifested. Why does he work? And what is his duty as a manifestation? Simple. We all know that sloka. It is by heart. Yeah, at least from Gita, one thing is done good by B.R. Chopra in India. Because of his serial Mahabharat, everybody remembers this sloka. Yada yada hi dharmasya. So we know the manifestation of God. What does he do? Why has he come? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Abhyutthanam dharmasya. Why I am coming? To raise, to support the good people, to bring the dharma, to re-establish the dharma again. That is what is told. So that is his duty, and that is why he has got that as a duty. That is what he work when he is coming in the manifestation, when he comes in the form of a human being or any other being. When he comes in that form, he has got his prescribed duty. We are in form, so we have got a prescribed duty. So here, it is clearly the definition of God's work is given. So what is God's work? Bhagwan ka kaam kya hai? Many people say, to Bhagwan ka kaam hai, ye acha kaam hai, this is good work, all that. What is Bhagwan ka kaam? In a Bhagwan ka kaam, there is a litmus test. What we used to call litmus test. You know what is litmus test? In chemistry, during our school days, I don't know now, the technology must have changed, but we had a paper. It's a simple paper which is coated with some chemicals, and we put that paper in the liquid. If the paper turns into red color, then it is a acidic chemical in which we have put it. And if the paper turns into blue, that means it is a basic pH value is +7 or above 7 or below 7. That is what was identified by the litmus test. So anybody who is illiterate, who cannot read or anything, has got that paper, they can put it in the chemical and they can see that it is acidic or not, or basic or not. So for the God's work also, there is a litmus test. And the litmus test is, number one is, when the work is done or when the work is completed, can we identify a single person? Can we name that this person has done the work? If we can name it, then it is not the God's work. This is a litmus test. कोई भी काम हो, वो काम जब हो जाता है, किसने किया पता नहीं, सबने मिलके किया. राम ने सेतु निर्माण किया, किसने बनाया? नहीं, वो नल और नील ने आर्किटेक्चर किया, फिर वो हनुमान जी ने राम लिखा, फिर बाकी बंदरों ने उसमें ये पत्थर डाले, गिलहरी आई उसने सैंड डाली, बाकी लोगों ने लकड़ियां डाली. किसने किया? सबने मिलके किया. टोटली the whole Shreya, the whole, the medal of doing that work is not to any individual. That is where it is a litmus test of a God's work. So here, the God's work is end result or the fruit should not be the reason of our actions. God's work, God क्यों काम करते हैं? One who has got, see here we saw, God has nothing to gain, attain, wish or acquire. Still he is working. Why? That is how the God's work is. So end result or fruit should not be the reason for actions. If we are doing any action in our day-to-day life, which is not based on either a gain or a result, then it is a God's work. Then it is a God's work. भगवान का काम वो है जहां जिसके रिजल्ट के लिए अपेक्षा नहीं है. We do not have any अपेक्षा. Yeah, we will get the sloka over there, here also. Anapeksha, Suchir Daksha, Udasino, Gatavyata. Sarvarambha Parityagi. We will get all those qualities of God, with which we should try to attain. Anapeksha, Apeksha nahi. That is God's will. So nowadays we see many activities. They are not wrong, but in true sense, in the mind of the people, it should be clear. Let us take an example of a little story here. We had a big sant. I think I have told here before also, maybe. There was a big sant we had in Maharashtra. His name was Sant Tukaram. Tukaram was a big saint. And he used to sing the Abhanga. The Tukaram was singing the songs he wrote, and he was singing the songs, and his songs are named as a Abhanga. Bhanga, जो टूटा हुआ नहीं है. Bhang में टूटा हुआ. Abhanga, टूटा हुआ, छूटा हुआ, अलग हुआ, separated, broken, away, one who is not. That is Abhanga. So he named his songs as Abhanga. So he used to sing all the Abhanga, and it was so musical, it was so great, and so many hundreds of people will come every day to his home while he is singing the Abhanga. He was a very famous person. Very famous. He was considered one of the biggest saints at the time. Now what happened that he used to go to many places for singing the Abhanga. Now one day he was coming back from his place, and people used to praise him. Oh, he is so great, he is so good, he is a great saint, he is such a a Bhagwan ka bhakta hai, devotee. All those things he was being identified as. Now one day he was coming in the night after singing the Abhanga, he was coming back home. And while coming back home, he found that there was a well. It's a village type, so he's walking on the road, and there is a well on the side of the road. And he found that there is a lady, there is a woman who is ready to jump in the well and give her life, suicide. And she thought, oh, she's going to suicide. She's going to, give her life. So she runs, he runs to her. And he is asking, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the woman told that I am jumping in the well to give my life. And Tukaram told, oh, why are you doing like this? Why are you jumping in the well? The woman told that I am a widow. But because of some reason or something, I am pregnant. I am a widow and I am pregnant. And these villagers will not allow me to leave. I will be having a very bad, very, very bad situation. So I want to jump in the well and I want to die. The man who is responsible or who is a father of this kid, the unborn kid, is now not agreeing that he is a father. So if he is refusing, I have got nowhere to go. And that is why I am jumping in the well. I'll give my life. Tukaram told, oh, you are giving your life. You are also going to take away the life of the baby in your womb. That's not good. She says, but there is no other solution. The man is not agreeing. So what should I do? So I will jump in the well. Tukaram told, hold on. What is the problem? The problem is that you do not have the name. You cannot give the name of the father of this baby in your womb. That is why you want to die. She says, yes. Tukaram told, okay, give my name. If anybody asks you that whose baby it is, you say it is Tukaram's baby. So you will have the name of the father, and you will not have to worry. You did not to worry to die. And the woman was surprised. One says, "Yes, are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm sure. Give my name." Tukaram gave his name for the baby. What happened? Next time, when the people started looking at the widow, they asked, "Oh, you look pregnant." She said, "Yes." "Who is the father?" "Tukaram." People say, "Oh my God, Saint Tukaram?" "Yes, Saint Tukaram. He is the father." And then people rush to Tukaram and ask, "Are you the father?" He says, "Yes." What happened? The person who was considered as a saint, जिसको संत करके जिसकी पूजा करते थे, people started hating him. संत बन के इतना बुरा काम किया. People started hating him. People stoned him. Actually, what happened that in those days, one of the worst insult was done to him. He was there was a black ink put on his face, and then he was shaved on his head with 7 chotis. This is considered as one of the very bad omen. And then he was forced to sit on a donkey reverse. गधे के ऊपर उल्टा बिठाकर, सिर के ऊपर 7 चोटी लगाकर, काला मुंह करके पूरे गांव में घुमाया. Moved all around in the village. He was moved with that. People beat him. People throw stone at him. Nobody comes to him now. Even if he is singing the Abhanga, he continues to sing Abhanga. Nobody comes to listen him. कोई सुनने आता नहीं है, कोई देखने के लिए आता नहीं है. तुम कितना भी अभंग अच्छा गाओ. पहले लाइन लगती थी. Before there used to be huge crowd. Now nobody comes. Tukaram has got absolutely no impact. Zero impact on his activity of singing Abhanga. There are hundreds of people coming, or there is nobody coming. There should not be any impact on your work. That is God's work. भगवान का काम करते हुए सामने क्या रिजल्ट है वो नहीं देखे, वही भगवान का काम है. One who look at the result, वो businessman है. One who doesn't look at the result and continues the duty, that is what is a saint. And then to end the story, finally what happened, that the person who was really responsible as a father, he was in big grief. उसको बहुत ही दुख हुआ कि मेरी वजह से कितने बड़े संत का लॉस हो गया. And then he comes, he realizes, he tells all the villagers that no, Tukaram is not the father, I am the father. And so finally people agreed with Tukaram, and Tukaram is still singing. People are giving me praise or not, people are giving me anything. Are you doing God's work? That is what is God's work. जिसको कुछ भी आकांक्षा नहीं है फिर भी काम करता है, आकांक्षा के बगैर काम करने वाला, अपेक्षा के बगैर काम करने वाला. That is what God, that is why God is telling, I am doing the work even without anything. कोई भी गेन नहीं है फिर भी मैं काम करूंगा, करता हूं. That is what God is telling. So this is a giving example to us. And karma should not be evaluated from the outcome. That is another point. इतना किया क्या हो गया. हमने 8 बार गीता पढ़ी फिर भी कुछ नहीं हुआ. I read Gita for 8 times, फिर भी nothing happened. अभी भी मैं गरीब ही हूं. No, Gita is not to be studied because I want to become rich. Yes, if we understand it correctly, our psychology will change and we will become rich, or we will attain something. But that is a side product. That is a side product. It is not to attain that. Let us take another example. A politician is digging a well in the village. In the village there is lots of scarcity of water. So a political leader, so-called, he comes and he says that, oh, there is so much lack of water over here, I will arrange to dig a well. And he is digging the well. He is arranging to dig a well over there. And the well is dug, and now there is a water available in the village. Has he done a good work or not? Is it good? Yeah, it is definitely good because people got the water. But what's the reason? Because he is going to stand in the election for the next for the upcoming election. So he wanted to now show that, अरे मैंने कुआं खुदवाया, yeah, I got the well done, I got the well dug over there and for the water. So give me the vote. Anything which is done with the apeksha is not God's work, because God is doing the work without apeksha. This is the bottom line. If we do our work without apeksha, then that is what is is told in multiple shlokas in Gita. Karmane vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana. You keep doing your karma, and it may be fruitful, it may not be fruitful, you may get the phalam, you may not get the fruit, you may not get the result, desired result, expected result. Keep doing karma. And we know so what is the karma? Prescribed duty. If we are manifested, we are also manifestation of God. Why not? Anshatmayam. God has told Sarvasya Chaham Radhisanni Vishtu. I am living in everybody's heart. So at least we can say partially we are manifested. We are all son of God. We are all son of God. If God has created us, we are all son of God. And if we are son of God, we should do something which God has done. जो बाप का काम करता है, सम्यक तनोति इति संतान. Santan means what? One who follows, one who does the work which is what the father has done. That is santan. So if the father has done the work on expectation, without any expectation, then son should also work without any expectation. Yeah, and the result will come. See, there is nothing wrong in getting the fruits, using the fruits, going forward. Nothing wrong. But the psychology while doing the work should be anapeksha. Should be without anything. That is what God wants to say here. Now, God even gives the reason for that. So we'll go to 23rd sloka. Yadi yayyam navarteyam jatu karmanya tandritaha mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. Yeah, God has given even reason. Yadi yayyam navartante. Yadi, if not I, navarteyam. If I do not behave like that, if I do not carefully perform my prescribed duties, jatu karmanya tandrita. Tandrita, atandrita, carefully. Atandrita, carefully. If I do not get engaged, varteyam, engage, jatu, ever. If I certainly do not attain a certain engage into the carefully and get engaged into my karmanya, into my karma, what will happen? Mama vartamano vartante manushya partha sarvashah. Yeah, all would follow my path in the all respects. Yeah, people will follow manushya mama vartamano vartante. How I behave. हे पार्थ, अगर मैं किसी समय सावधान होकर कर्तव्य कर्म न करूं तो बड़ी हानि हो जाएगी. इट विल बी ए वेरी बैड हानि, इट विल बी ए वेरी बैड डैमेज, बिग डैमेज. व्हाई? बिकॉज मनुष्य सब प्रकार से मेरे ही मार्ग का अनुसरण करते हैं. दिस सेंटेंस, मनुष्य सब प्रकार से मेरे ही मार्ग का अनुसरण करते हैं, हैज गॉट टू मीनिंग बिहाइंड इट. नंबर वन, फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ द गॉड साइड, that whatever he is doing, whatever his karma is doing, that is what the people will follow. The second meaning is from the people side. If I have to be manushya, if I have to be called as a human, अगर मुझे अपने आप को मनुष्य कहना है, if I want myself to be called as a human, to prove as a human, I should follow the method of the God, the method in which the God is working. भगवान जैसे काम करते हैं वैसे काम करना चाहिए. Then I am the son of God. Both side. भगवान को फॉलो करने वाले मनुष्य हैं और मनुष्य वही होता है जो भगवान को फॉलो करता है. That is what it means. So here there is very important part is यदि यय्यम न वर्तेयम. यदि यय्यम न वर्तेयम. Even God has to work and God has to behave. भगवान को भी काम करना पड़ता है और अपनी जिम्मेदारियां संभालनी पड़ती है ड्यूरिंग मैनिफेस्टेशन. So this is clearly showing the responsibility of a person towards the society. It is showing that the social responsibility is superior than individual choice. Number one. हाँ, काम करना पड़ेगा. मैं तो भगवान हूँ, मैं बैठूंगा आराम से. हाँ, I am the God and I will just sit because I am God. I am the superior most. So I will not work, not do. It will not do. You are there, you have to work. भगवान को भी काम करना पड़ता है. यदि यह्यम न वर्तेयम. Even God has to do the work. I remember, I used to go to many places during my projects. Even I'm still doing the projects. But anyway, so I used to ask in many companies, in Canada, in US, everywhere, in many companies, what happens that employees have got a pool. They give $10, $20 every month. And then they make a pool. Pool for what? Pool of money. For what? To buy the lotteries. लॉटरी खरीदने के लिए सब लोग $10 निकालो. They will make a pool and then they will buy 100, 200 lotteries every month. Every month. So suppose in a company there are, say, smaller project, 25 employees. All these 25 employees will take $10 each, and there will be $250 of pool every month to buy the lottery. And they came to me also. I go as a consultant, so I am an outsider, I am a contractor. So they asked me, you also want to take the lottery? I said, no. I never gamble. Sometimes it is for good purpose also. Yeah, so-called good purpose. Bhagwan ka kaam. So-called Bhagwan ka kaam. It's not only lottery, it is also lottery for something else. Like we have got $250 now, and we are going to have a lucky draw, and there will be a $100 prize, and the remaining $150 will go to United Way. Yeah, any type of lottery, not only the money lottery, any type of lottery within. And I used to say that, oh, you want to gather the money for a good cause. United Way is a very good cause. It is helping a lot to the people who are needy people. Then what will I do? I'll just give the money. Why to lure a person with $100 prize to give the money, to donate the money? Why to lure? Why to have a prize to lure a person that you buy this $10 ticket and you may get a $100 prize, the lucky prize, and by that you gather so much of money, and with that much pool of money, that much amount of money, now we will give it to United Way for some good cause. If you want to donate, just give it. Here people are not donating. The psychology of the person is investing. Here the people are investing. I will invest my $10 so that I may get $100 prize. In that case, it is not God's work, it's a business. The end result may seem good, but the psychology is not that good. That is what happens. Anyway, so I used to ask, why you are buying lottery? They say, oh, because if we get a lottery, we will be all rich. And I asked them, if you get a lottery, for example, if you win $10 million, what will you do? The first answer was, by everyone, was, Naukri chhod dunga, I will leave my job. I will leave my job. And I asked them, that means you are working only for the salary. See, getting salary is not bad. But if your psychology, if your eye is only on the salary, then you are not a motivated person to do your job. कितना मिलेगा वही देख के अगर काम करते हो तो तुम्हारा ध्यान काम में नहीं है, पगार में है. How much salary you get? So you will not be motivated. Unfortunately, people will say fortunately, but I will say unfortunately. Unfortunately, if they win the lottery, what will happen? They will all leave the job. What will happen to the company? What will happen to the clients? What will happen to the customers? Suppose there is a hospital. There are 20 nurses in that hospital, private hospital. Okay, and they get, say, I don't know, whatever, $80 million jumbo prize. All the nurses will leave the job. What will happen? What will happen to the people who are sick, people who are going to the hospital? They go to the hospital, nurse will say, oh, I have earned the money, I have already earned my lifetime money, I am not going to work anymore. Or some nurse will say, no, I will still work. But the motivation to work is gone. So काम में मजा नहीं आएगा. So what is God's work? Why God has to work? And Mama Vartamanu Vartante, it's already 9:30:29. So we will stop over here. We have to understand the psychology while we are doing the work. What should be our psychology behind the work, and how the God is doing His psychology. What is the God's psychology while doing His work? He is explaining us. That is very important. We are trying to understand here the psychology of the God. So we will come next Saturday again 8:30 to 9:30, and we will go forward from the 23rd sloka on 3rd chapter in our study of Gita. Till then, I wish everyone a great weekend. Enjoy the summertime, enjoy the sun, engage into many events, and enjoy with the family. Vasudevasutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah.